Straight ahead on CCX News, a Robbinsdale volunteer who received quite the surprise.
It was truly a humbling thing for me to think that I had been selected.
Plus, a new way local police are helping residents dispose of unwanted prescription drugs. And Russian culture celebrated in Plymouth, and the helpful way Russian immigrants get their news. CCX News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. We begin with what local city officials call a looming infrastructure crisis.
Cities like Golden Valley are focused on roads and bridges in need of repairs. And one of the legislative priorities approved Tuesday night by the Golden Valley City Council is for future improvements to Highway 169. The state's 20-year highway investment plan does not call for any capacity improvements to 169 between I-394 and I-94. But Golden Valley officials hope something can be done for safety reasons. Since 2002, there have been more than 1,100 crashes along the corridor, which provides access to many businesses, including General Mills, St. Jude Medical, and U.S. Foods. Other legislative priorities include a request by the North Metro Mayors Association for an interchange at Highway 169 and 101st Avenue in Brooklyn Park. Golden Valley would also like to see safety improvements at the intersection of Highways 55 and Douglas Drive, where pedestrians must cross 7 lanes of Highway 55 to reach businesses and schools. Unfortunately, there is no funding available to correct the problem. The 2017 Minnesota legislative session convenes in St. Paul on January 3rd.
In Cristo, there are glowing reviews for the work done by the city manager.
What we find is how the council works with staff and with the city manager, I think it's the best I've seen in the time that I've been here for 4 years. And I think you're owed a lot of gratitude to that.
The City Council approved a 2.5% salary increase, raising the city manager's annual salary to $136,000. The Crystal Council recently implemented new standards that are used internationally to review city managers. In Plymouth, there's a growing presence of Russian culture.
Roughly 45,000 Russian immigrants call the Twin Cities home, including many who live in Plymouth. As Delane Cleveland reports, a Plymouth-based company gives the local Russian population a valuable resource.
In a metro area as large as the Twin Cities, you'll come across people from all walks of life. Scattered among the masses are an estimated 45,000 Russian immigrants.
10,000 lakes, fishing.
According to Leo Grishner.
Number one, Minnesota is very good state for living because weather here it's like in Moscow, so people like it because they want winter should be winter, you know, summer should be summer, but not like in Florida.
Grishner is the publisher of Zerkalo Inc., which is housed in this Plymouth strip mall alongside other Russian businesses. His company caters to the local Russian population by publishing 2 Russian-language newspapers, a magazine, and a Russian directory.
Because a lot of people still they're not good in English, that's why they, with pleasure, they read our publications.
It's an idea that came about 25 years ago when he moved to Minnesota and realized that the Twin Cities had no news source for Russian immigrants.
So we take Yellow Pages and start looking for Russian names.
He initially started with 8 customers. He now has 8,000 who read the monthly publications for local news and commentary.
And in case if something hot news or something even emergency, we have these communications.
He says it's a valuable service for the older generations who still speak the native language and who aren't social media savvy. Grishner says it's a population that shouldn't be overlooked.
It's a huge community and we've got a really big impact in the economy of state Minnesota.
In Plymouth, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
The publishing company will celebrate its 25th anniversary on January 26th. You may have seen or even used Hennepin County's green medicine disposal bins.
And Plymouth is now offering its residents a different way to make sure that unused pills don't fall into the wrong hands.
We have two different sizes, right? One will accept up to 45 pills, the other will accept up to 90. So you
The
literally...
Plymouth Police Department is offering free drug deactivation bags. Unwanted medications can be poured into the bag, and an activated carbon inside neutralizes the medication so that the bag can be thrown away without contaminating the groundwater. The goal is to safely get rid of medicines, especially prescription painkillers, that can be a gateway to opioid abuse, such as the heroin epidemic.
We're not immune to it. We've had a few heroin saves in the last month where young people in particular are overdosing, and in looking at their history, it started with pills.
The drug deactivation bags can be picked up in the lobby of Plymouth's Public Safety Building.
Still ahead, some activities for the kids to enjoy over their long winter break that won't break the bank.
And then a little bit later in sports, Park Center takes on Hopkins in a rematch from last season's state girls basketball tournament.
But first, partly sunny and almost pleasant on Thursday.
Students are counting the days until school is out for winter break.
And it won't take long before parents begin counting the days until school starts again. And today in Money Savers, reporter Shannon Slatton rounds up a few family-friendly winter break activities that won't break the bank.
Once the gifts are opened and the fun wears off, winter break sets in, and that can be tough. Today we've compiled a list of free family-friendly activities to help you bust up the boredom.
Once the holiday is done, it's really long.
Gianna Kordatsky, one of the authors of FamilyFunTwinCities.com, says there's plenty to do over winter break, and it doesn't have to cost you a dime.
The Twin Cities is full of things. We have things on our website. We have 2 articles, one called the Winter Break Survival Guide and one called 16 plus things to do during winter break.
One thing Gianna recommends is finding time to volunteer.
If you go on volunteermatch.com and click in your location, there's a bunch of things there that are nearby that you can go see and participate in.
For fun outside, check out places like Maple Grove's Ice Skating Loop, where you can bring your own skates and skate for free.
Coming here to Maple Grove, the ice skating loop that they have here sounds great.
The trails are fantastic in the wintertime, and so much wildlife will be around.
At the Eastman Nature Center, you can rent snowshoes for $5 for the entire day.
You'll be able to see deer tracks, and you'll be able to see mouse tracks, and you'll probably see raccoon tracks and all this wonderful stuff. So even if you don't see the wildlife, you'll see evidence of them all around.
You can also stop by the free Feeding Frenzy program on December 26th.
So you'll be able to see the animal up close, watch them feed, and you'll be able to ask anything you want to know about turtles and snakes and salamanders and frogs and toads.
Once you've gotten your animal fix, head on over to your local library.
People are welcome to come here to create, to connect, to learn, and to be.
Erin Bogle at Brookdale Library says there are 2 types of programs offered over winter break.
A couple that we have during winter break here at Brookdale is our Teen Geekery program, which is a program for teens who are passionate about manga, anime, and other fandoms to come and connect over those interests together. And then we also have our Family Storytime, which is a weekly program.
Aside from programs, the library is also a place to explore and learn.
We have lots of fun things to do at the library, of course including our great books and lots of cozy spaces that families can curl up and enjoy those books in as well.
For Money Savers, Shannon Slatton, CCX News.
Coming up, what giving to others means to a Brooklyn Center nonprofit.
But first, a great boys basketball battle between Brooklyn Center and Totino-Grace gets decided in overtime. John Jacobson is in next.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. 2 local boys basketball teams that are off to great starts met up in Brooklyn Center Tuesday night. Totino-Grace ranked 3rd in Class 3A, met Brooklyn Center ranked 9th in Class 2A. The visiting Eagles start strong. Great ball rotation here leads to an open 3 in the corner for Nathan Cavalock, and an early Totino-Grace lead at 7-2. Lakai Patterson drives and delivers a no-look pass to Roland Ross for 2 as the Centaurs battle back within 14-12. Grace builds a lead. Rocky Cruiser to Will Schmidt for 3, and the Eagles are up 31-15. Schmidt scores 13. The Centaurs rally again. Patterson with the assist. As Kirkula Collins nails a 3 to beat the buzzer at halftime. Grace leads by 2. It's a good battle down the stretch. Deshaun Pickford's rainbow 3 for BC ties the game at 52. Patterson spins and scores. The Brooklyn Center goes in front 56-54. Patterson scores 14 in the game. The Centaurs find Rodwan Tahir for 3 of his team high 16. It's 61-58 Brooklyn Center. But Cavalock has the answer. His 3 from the corner ties it at 61 all. We go to overtime. 22 in the game for Cavalock. And this one isn't pretty, but it drops in for Cruiser. Totino-Grace pulls out a 67-65 overtime win in a great game. The Heritage Christian Academy boys started this season with 3 lopsided wins. The Eagles figured to get a tougher test against a team featuring one of the top seniors in Minnesota. Texas signee Jericho Sims and Cristo Ray Jesuit visiting Heritage. A wild play here as Ben Allen spins to get the pass ahead. C.J. Woda gives it to Tim Thurston, gets it back for a 3 from the corner, and Heritage leads 14-8. Woda scores 24 points at all. A nice pick and roll as Zach Johansson finds Woda going to the hoop for the reverse layup. Eagles start to take over. Jack Vandertop at the high post fakes the pass and calmly nails a turnaround jumper for a 26-15 lead. Great offense here. Woda to Johansson, cutting baseline for the reverse layup. He scores 19 on the night. Facing double and triple teams, Sims doesn't score his first hoop until 1:50 remains in the first half. He finishes with 13, but it's Heritage's night. They lead 36-19 at halftime, and they win at 62-47 to stay unbeaten. In girls basketball, Park Center and Hopkins met in the state Class 4A quarterfinals last season. The 10th-ranked Pirates visited #1 Hopkins Tuesday. Hopkins builds an early lead. The inbounds passes to Angie Hammond and gets to the hoop to score for a 14-8 Royals lead. Hopkins gets some transition hoops too. Off the Pirates' miss, the pass comes ahead to Raina Suggs for the layup, and a 22-8 lead for the Royals. Suggs with 21 points in the contest. Hopkins makes it look easy at times. Deezy Winston picks up the loose ball and goes coast to coast for 2 of her 9 points. Hopkins leads 33-16 at halftime. Royals trying to put the Pirates away in the second half. Winston drives the ball and then sets up to Layla Shakolas for 2. Shakolas scores 15. Park Center isn't done yet. Ann Simonetta over to Charles Nickens for the layup in transition. The Pirates are within 8. Hopkins pushes it back to double figures. Winston draws the defense and finds Tasia Kreml. Her shot bounces and drops. It's 51-37. Park Center surges again, but it's not enough as Hopkins hands the Pirates a 60-47 loss. Maple Grove's girls hockey team continues to roll. The Crimson hosted Benilde Tuesday night. Late first period, Manon McMahon gets the puck in front. Maya Martinez pokes it in for a Crimson power play goal. It's 1-0. In the second period, the floodgates open for MG. Ellie Corbin sets up Julia Pius for a 3-0 lead. Then Taylor Wente redirects the point shot home for her second goal of the game and a 4-0 lead. A nifty goal here as Wente wins the faceoff to herself and passes to Katie Denicky for the gimme goal. Crimson score 5 in the second on their way to a 6-0 win. Last week we showed you how the Maple Grove Gymnastics team is off to a strong start. Their opponent tonight is also one of the area's strongest teams. The Champlin Park Rebels tuned up for their meet at Maple Grove. Rebels scored 139 points plus in each of their first 2 meets this season. They placed 4th at the state meet last year. You know, Maple Grove will present a tough challenge.
It's going to be a battle. You know, we're going to have to come with our A game, and you know, they're working to do the same. They even got into some early invites at Elk River and I think at Perham, so they've probably got even a little more experience.
You can see the Champlin Park Maple Grove meet live tonight, Wednesday, on the web via our live stream link at ccxmedia.org, or watch it on our channels 12 and 799 this Saturday at 1 and 7 p.m. Mike and Alex, back to you.
All right, thank you, John. For 33 years, Dick Schirmacher taught music at Sandburg Middle School in Golden Valley. Schirmacher touched many lives, but now in retirement, he is touching even more. And we get more on that from Eric Nelson.
Sometimes our own needs, they seem just so insignificant when you look around you and see the needs of the residents who are fighting debilitating things every day.
Dick Schermacher has the ability to lift up spirits and create smiles.
Well, it's really so easy. You know, it doesn't take rocket science to tell somebody that you like the shirt that they're wearing, or hey, you got new shoes. Wow, nice.
Schermacher volunteers at the Good Samaritan Society in Robbinsdale, where he plays the piano with passion and energy.
It is something that is extremely important and rewarding for me to be doing this.
Schermacher spends countless hours giving his time to others, which is why he is the Minnesota Volunteer of the Year.
It's gratifying and humbling at the same time.
The scope of the award has not yet sunk in for Schermacher.
I had no idea what Volunteer of the Year meant. Yes, it was a surprise.
Schermacher wins over the room with his captivating and engaging personality.
Very good.
He truly loves volunteering.
It is better to give than to receive. And like I said, I've had my socks, literally, blessed off me so many times here by the residents. Give Tony a tambourine.
At Good Samaritan,
it's your favorite instrument, bud.
Schermacher has a special chemistry with resident Tony Hightower, who is battling Huntington's disease.
He's from Gary, Indiana.
They have become quite the tandem.
I just felt a connection right away, and because he loved music, still does.
You can't tell the story of Dick Schermacher and Tony Hightower without talking about the Robbinsdale Dairy Queen. Their many frequent visits here to the DQ have helped create a special bond.
It started out every Monday we'd go to Dairy Queen, and then we increased it to Friday because he enjoyed it so much. It's just a blessing bringing him the joy and the fun.
In Robbinsdale, I'm Eric Nelson, CCX News.
Dick Schermacher says he hopes his volunteering inspires others to do the same. We'll be right back.
And finally, it is a fun time of the season for a local nonprofit.
I just love everybody, and I bring happiness to people, and I try to help them. It's wonderful. It warms the cockles of my heart.
Mrs. Claus was among the volunteers at CEAP in Brooklyn Center to help distribute gifts for the Toys of Joy program. CEAP officials say it's important to help bring joy to families who are struggling. Volunteers help parents choose toys for more than 3,800 kids.
The kids get the toys and the parents get to see the looks on their kids' faces when they get that toy that they picked out just for them. So we really love that opportunity to have the parents come in and pick the toys themselves for their children.
CEAP officials put out a big thanks to the 40 community partners in the area who hosted those toy drives. That's it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.